Well, first of all, good job raising awareness for something that these people wanted to raise awareness for. And I'll bet you the person making the decision to remove them from the game, I would venture a guess as to their race. Who do you know what when people talk about white supremacy or a power structure, what do you think they're talking about? I would say this. For those who find it distasteful to see that at a baseball game, come on, we have to deal with race and societal issues everywhere we go. We want to watch a baseball game. Leave us alone. I understand that, but a couple things. One, it reminds me I'll be watching a Yankees game, and they'll be having these ads, against smoking and showing you the effects of lung cancer. And they're so graphic, I can't look at it. I get nauseated. I'm like, please, I'm trying to watch a game. Leave me alone. But at the same time, I realize that this is a very serious problem, and I dare anyone to go smoke a cigarette after seeing that ad. It's hard. It makes it harder to do it. So I understand that, yes, they have a captive audience in a sense, and what they're doing is nauseating a lot of people, including me, and I wish it wasn't an intrusion. But if they're saving lives, if they're addressing a really important issue, I suppose I have to put up with it. And I think this is along those lines. Racism is more American than baseball. It was 200 years old before baseball was invented in this country, right? I mean, and I go through this every time. The international slave trade, the institution of slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, and on and on and on existed before baseball did. So it is part of our history. It still reverberates today, and it needs to be addressed. So as sympathetic as I am to those who say, I don't want this in baseball, look, it's a reality, and it's not like what they said wasn't true, and raising awareness, I think, is a good thing. I don't think that's a bad thing, and they told the truth.
I'm not sympathetic about it when it comes to baseball because I think baseball, more than most other professional sports, need to do a better job of addressing these issues, to be quite honest with you. I think it's important to say that. And I'm not accusing Major League Baseball of not trying. I'm not accusing them of not making a concerted effort. Their RBI program, Reviving Baseball in the Inner Cities, and other things that they do are to be commended. But clearly, when you look at the mentality of the sport from time to time, they always seem to be the last dudes to the party. So let's just put it that way and leave it at that. Let me go a little bit deeper. Obviously, racism is more American than baseball. The sign was not erroneous. It was not a misnomer. But as a black man, it's very, very important that I say what I'm about to say because of the culture that we're living in and some of the things that we saw. The people holding that sign were white. Just like some people who were assisting black folks through the whole civil rights era was white. I'm on this show a lot of days, and a lot of times, Max, I leave a lot of things to you because I don't need to regurgitate what you say because you do it so exceptionally well. And regardless of how much I get on you, this is very important that y'all understand this. Regardless of how much I get on you about being Captain Obvious, sometimes I'm only playing with you, but I love you because you're a good man, one of the best people that I've ever known in my life, and you're that conscientious.
Thank you, bro.
And I truly mean that from the bottom of my heart. And the reason why it's important to recognize that is that you are white, I am black, and I wanted to work with you because I knew what kind of a man you are, and you're still better than the man that I thought you were, and I thought you were a damn good man before. I can't look at you just because you're white and think that you don't have any conscience about what my community has been through and what we still go through. I can't look at somebody that's white and automatically assume that they are who America tries to depict us as being from time to time because of history. Sometimes we have to grow, we have to evolve, and we have to understand that everybody ain't against us just because they look differently than us. And just because you are in a place where you can point to a bunch of people that may not think the way you think, that may not feel the way that you feel, that may not share your cultural identity, your beliefs, your perspectives, or whatever the case may be, that does not mean that you shouldn't have an open mind and you shouldn't be socially conscious enough. It also is important to recognize that it's a two-way street. Just like as black people, we ask white folks to be more cognizant and socially conscious and conscientious. We have an obligation to be open-minded and evolve as well and stop looking at people and thinking that they're against us just because they're from a different place. So I'm only saying that to say it's so important that we recognize who was holding those signs, because it's a reminder that indeed, to some degree, we have evolved, we have gotten better as a society, and for the most part, we are in it together. And those extremists, whoever they may be, okay, they are the minority.
I agree
they don't
with you
speak
about
about
your
the
point.
fabric of this country.